What do you say, everybody? Welcome to Elephant in the Room, part of Cover Crimson now, and we want you guys to make sure that you take the time to become part of what we're doing, and that is obviously covercrimson.com, the message board, and then here on the YouTube channel. From seeing the numbers, you guys are paying attention, and subscriptions are up, but we want you guys just to keep being involved in what we're doing, and roll tide, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker. Ryan Anderson's with us again.
I'm in the building.
What's up? Celebrated your birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
and here we are with a new episode.
Let's do it.
All right.
Shirt is yesterday.
Hey, all of us.
I'm
This
a very frugal guy. Hunting season coming up. I got both people. Save that.
Now we can talk about.
You're coming with me this year, by the way.
You're gonna put him on some big deer.
No, he's gonna hunt like he's never hunted before. Ride around and just.
That's what I want to do.
Out.
That's what I want to do. I want to hang out anyway.
Just ride around, and
when they pop out, you pop them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Sounds like fun.
Then we'll get the old firing squad. All right, let's restart the show.
No, we're not restarting. We're going to talk about the schedule. Sixth hardest schedule, according to the experts, Alabama's playing this year. And I want to talk about that, but the first thing I want to do, guys, is that Mark Ingram was at Alabama football practice. Did you see this?
Yeah.
And he I'm going to play a clip of him talking about what it's like to be part of Alabama football, and then we're going to get into this, and then we're going to talk about the strength of schedule. But he's one of my favorite Alabama players. He's also excellent on Fox. He's become a great commentator. He's a great representation of what you would want anybody from your university to be. And I love that he's there talking to the team, and kind of setting the tone. So you guys tell me.
We had sacrifice for one another. We held each other accountable, and we just loved on each other. And we put the work in. Ain't no shortcuts. Everyone always wants to know, like, how did you get to play 12 years in the league? How did you win the Heisman Trophy? There ain't no shortcuts, dog. Like, you got to take the stairs. You can't go to the elevator and be down here and go to floor 10. Like, no. In order to be successful, you got to put the work in. Day in, day out. It ain't no secret recipe. It's hard work. It's dedication. It's commitment. It's sacrifice. It's how bad do you want it. It's like never shying away from competition. Everywhere you go, there's going to be competition. Everywhere you go, there's going to be competition. And you shouldn't shy away from competition, because competition is going to make you better. It's going to make your teammate better. We knew the year before we came up short. We ain't finished the game. Had we did that, we would have been in that championship. But we had a vision that we was going to get back, whatever it took. We was going to get back to that moment. We put the work in. We held each other accountable. We loved on each other. We had each other's back. We spent time with each other outside of the facility. We knew each other. We spent time with each other's families. In order to be a successful team, in order to be a tight team, y'all got to get tight. Can't nothing break y'all. Y'all got to get tight. Can't nothing break y'all. Because if y'all could be broken out here, what's going to happen in the trenches when it's 100,000 screaming and it's crunch time? It's crunch time. I can't let him down. I can't let my brother down. I got to do my job so he can do his job. If I don't do my job right, he can't do his job right. And if he can't do his job, we can't be successful.
I listened to that and I thought, Ryan, I love Mark Ingram, but I love him a little bit more now.
Yeah.
And just us kind of hanging out in here talking about the things that you guys went through. You talking about being in the national championship game, Jake, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to be you didn't care about. For me, I would be thinking, hey, I want to walk out of here the guy that won this. and carry everybody on my back. You're like, I just don't want to let everybody else down. You know,
being the first quarterback to lose.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Saving, that'd be pretty rough.
Yeah, and like just that feeling, like, and I guess that's what makes Alabama special, is that it really wasn't about you. You know, like he said. I just thought that was a great clip.
No doubt.
And that's what Alabama football is to me.
Well, people don't realize. I mean, you know, it's you do all little things right, and your team player shit just seems to work out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No doubt.
everything falls into place if you do things the right way. May not work out the way you think it's going to, but you do things the right way, and eventually it does. You know.
Had you been that first quarterback, I couldn't have really argued, you know, with you being my favorite quarterback from St. Paul's. Like, you still been my best buddy. But
the story's a little better when you win.
Yeah, when somebody bring that shit up, I just gotta start fighting. So now I can sit back, drink a beer, and be like, mother.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Damn right.
The thing about Alabama football, and this is, you know, Coach DeBoer came in second last year at Alabama, and I'm sure for Washington, you know, it's like, hey, we came in second, what a great year. At Alabama, and you come in second, man, as much as it sucks, is that you're kind of forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, he better leave that shit where he at, where it was. Talking about we came in second.
Yeah.
That ain't what we here for. That is not what we here for.
Nobody remembers the first loser.
Not here. I mean, they won the SEC last year, and it doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty damn good year.
That 2-point conversion, you know. I mean, that's all you remember. That's all you think about. I mean,
we got that sent out of town.
We sure did. Hey, why do you think I always say how much I love Brailsford? I say that every interview.
He said the last show or 2 shows ago, I was like, oh my, here we go.
You know why?
On the punchline.
No, I leave it there. I just leave it there.
I mean, I say I made 30. I ain't gonna be the old guy bashing no kids. But I'm glad we got Paul Crew out of Dodge.
Yeah, right. Look, they're paid now, though. Once you get paid, you can get criticized.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, it's not like high school where you're not on there, and some of them guys are getting paid, but not many of them. You're just kids playing football, having fun, baseball the same way. But once you start taking a check for it, there's a price that comes with the check. I mean, is that a fair statement?
I mean, it's a price before all that. It's a price that come with all of it.
Yeah,
before he was, you know what I mean? It's a price that just come with being on that stage in that light. That's part of it, you know.
Yeah. So like that realization I talk about when I was playing that intramural softball game. That drunk dude came up to me, you know, you gonna be worth shit this year? And I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? He goes, well, hey, you signed up for it. I was like, shit, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, you could go to a smaller platform and not have to worry about that, or you can play at Alabama and, you know, with you gotta, the good comes with the bad. It is what it is.
Exactly. You can't get the glory without a little grazing.
Well, I mean, I think it's the same thing with doing this job too. You know, when you're broadcasting women's basketball, nobody ever complains because nobody ever listens. The minute that you start doing things that people care about, the criticism comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I do? I just make fun of myself with them.
Yeah.
You don't think this guy doesn't know the difference between steak and steak?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
It's
just, you guys got to wear it, man. I mean, that's kind of, if you embrace it, then what are they going to ever do to you? You know what I mean? If you take it personally, then you're walking right into that.
Yeah. Don't let me offend you. You know what I mean?
No.
Shit, that kid, you don't need to let me offend him. He making good money. Shit, more money than I'm making right now. So don't let me offend you.
If what I say, you know, ruins you in the long run, that's on you.
That's on you.
I mean, and be honest with you, you know, either you're gonna figure it out or you're just gonna quit. And that's that's just part of it. Heard some pretty rough stuff.
You've already, nobody's got it worse than you. I mean, you know, being a quarterback at Alabama is the toughest job in the state, really.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I mean, you just hear
Southeast.
it. Yeah, you hear it constantly.
In the South.
What you gonna do? You just go quit?
You just survived it. It's also a great job though, too.
That's why you go get you a quarterback that like Malty oat. Shit like that.
Yeah, right.
You hear me? Go get you a quarterback know how to skin a deal.
Yeah.
Hey, when it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's still pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, some of them guys like themselves a lot.
Oh yeah, I done seen
Not
it.
you.
You
You know what I'm talking
I've seen the Russell pull over the 26-inch rims.
Hey, you know who was cool though? When we were hanging out with when we were hanging out with Milrow, he's a cool dude,
He's a
man.
good dude.
You know, like really, like we all kind of left with the same impression.
Oh, when I shook his hand,
We could hang with this guy.
When I
Like
shook
this
his
is the
hand,
kind
I
of
knew.
guy you can hang with.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, if I show up to practice here in a couple weeks and I don't get some rowback stuff,
Were you uncomfortable when he asked him?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. See, I wanted to see how he reacted. He'd have curled up. I didn't know he wasn't my kind of guy. Get the roll back.
he's going to be on the receiving end of a stone cold stunner.
Narrow, get the roll back.
Well, we are, but this is for everybody's information. The show is presented by Rowback, and we even have a promo code: Room 20, 20% off at Rowback when you use our promo code. And we actually got a message; people are using it. We got one guy had his gear. I was like, okay, Room 20. That's your promo code there. Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I think he's gonna have a fantastic year. All right, but I'm gonna throw this up here for you guys. 6th hardest schedule in college football at Alabama this year. I think it's a tough schedule. Here's the schedule right here. Western Kentucky, South Florida at home, at Wisconsin, bye week, Georgia at home, at Vandy. Oh, we should go to that one.
The Vanderbilt one.
Yeah, that's always a fun one up in Nashville.
We could do that. My cousin went to Vandy, and I love to rub it in.
Oh, it's fun.
I love it.
Hey, you don't go there for the football game.
No.
Yeah.
High school stadium. And then South Carolina at home, at Tennessee, Missouri at home, bye week again, at LSU, Mercer, at Oklahoma, and then Auburn. That's a tough schedule.
2 bye weeks.
Yeah, 2 bye weeks. But I mean, look at this. I mean, this is so in essence, at Wisconsin, at Tennessee, at LSU, at Oklahoma. Those are 4 really tough road games.
You ain't lying.
Thoughts on the schedule?
I might try to hit that Oklahoma game.
That would be fun too.
That's a good schedule, Mick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about time I'm so glad. I love these expansions. More tough games. All Oklahoma and Auburn back to back.
Oh,
I love that.
So we don't have a bye week before the Iron Bowl. It's always before LSU.
Yep.
So we got Oklahoma then
Straight into Auburn.
Yeah. They boy, he better be ready.
LSU, Mercer,
I do
Oklahoma,
too.
Auburn. Yeah.
I like it.
And I think Auburn has a really tough game that week too. So it's not like, they're playing like Mercer that the next week. But
I like the big games week 1. I love the big games week 1.
We ain't got that this year. We got
Western Kentucky.
right. But Florida State's on the schedule next year.
for the first
week
game.
1.
Week 1 or week 2 early. And those are home and homes.
Oh,
They're calling it the Coker Bowl.
You better not start that shit. You better not start that shit. I'm gonna watch them games with you.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I'm see where you at.
We
man.
should go.
Yeah,
No,
we should.
we should go with them.
Because
Because he's going to be friends with everybody. We'll get that treatment, going back home again. And it's not a far drive from down here. Us LA guys, we could just zip over there and come back.
It's Florida State's. It's like driving to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
3 hours.
3 hours. We'd be right there. You got some spots over there.
I'm definitely. We got to hit that one.
Yeah.
I
I used to
definitely
have
go to
some
that one.
spots. Man.
I want to go there. Yeah.
Great town.
He's such a short drive. And down here, like Florida State's kind of becoming one of the teams. It's like you go to Pensacola, it's Alabama, Florida State City.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Florida doesn't really get a whole lot of love there. Nobody's talking about LSU or Auburn. It's Alabama and Florida State.
Pensacola's still in Alabama town.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I used to always tell DJ Petway that, like, Florida boy. I said, man, you from Pensacola, Alabama.
Yeah, that's not even Florida.
Yeah, you from Pensacola, Alabama.
What game worries you on here?
There's a lot of them on that, man.
Okay, let's go through it then. So Western Kentucky for the first game. I think the Hilltoppers are, but I think that they're not a scrub team. They can be good. They throw the ball. They usually have pretty dynamic offenses. I think we'll beat them. But early in the season, sometimes because they don't have a lot of depth, but they have some good players. I know with the NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff, they might not be as good as they used to be. Right? South Florida was actually a team that gave Alabama some trouble. Now Milroe didn't play in that game. And it was last year when we were trying to figure out our offense, but they have Tennessee's old offensive coordinator. That is their head coach. And they're kind of picked as a team that could surprise some people this year.
Yeah. I mean, look, if we're talking about those two games with fear and we actually lose one of those games, or, you know, me and you can go ahead and cancel the tailgate show because that season's not going to be worth talking about.
Oh man!
I mean, you know, I respect those teams. You know, those kids working hard and getting after it. But you know, when you're thinking about playing on Saturday and you can't wait to get out there, you're thinking about the. I mean, you look at the schedule: Georgia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn. I mean,
and like you said, they early, Coach. So you know how it was that South Florida game last year. So I want to go out there and hang 50 on them some bitches.
Yeah, right.
I want to hang 50 on them.
When Saban was coaching, we never lost any of those games. The other coaches lost some.
Lost La Tech or
his first year, that first year. And we had the book scandal. We had all those players that were taken off of the game. We fumbled the ball 5. I mean, it's like a perfect storm of shit to lose that game. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, and then after that, like, we never lost another. We lost games, but we didn't lose games to bad teams.
Yeah.
We lost games to good teams that played better than us, or we made more mistakes. That to me is one of the biggest, I don't know, successes of Saban's legendary career, is that we just didn't have the F-ups, man.
Right.
Like Auburn last year. Like but teams have those, not Saban teams though.
Yeah, I mean, but this year there's not as much uncertainty around leadership roles. You know, I mean, there's pretty defined leadership. This year, I feel like that leadership's far more galvanized than it was last year too. Yeah. I mean, you got guys that hung in there after Coach Saban left, kept the team together. Basically, a team-run organization there for a month or two. And you got guys. I mean, Jalen. A lot of those offensive linemen, that core defensive front, I mean, those guys stuck around. They kept the team together. Everybody knows who the leaders are. Those young guys, they're coming in. They know who to look up to, who to listen to. There's no question as to who the guys are going to be in terms of quarterback position. And you got Ty Simpson, who, to me, when you got a backup around that long and who hadn't transferred, that's another leader in itself.
Exactly.
So even the backups, the young guys are going to get you know, coached up by the backup quarterback. You know, moving into next year, I like where we're at from a leadership standpoint. These receivers and these DBs that are new, we'll have to learn a lot. Georgia makes me nervous. We're playing them early in the year, and like I've said before, I think the first 6 weeks of the season, you kind of got to, with a younger team, you almost got to throw out the window because, I mean, they'll win with talent. It's kind of hard to win, you know, as a unit because not everybody's on the same page, especially when you got a new receiving core. Guys aren't, you know, on time. The routes aren't crisp. You know, you can't make adjustments on the fly because you got a good feel for the guy out there.
Right. Yeah.
But I think by that Tennessee game, we ought to be pretty ready to go. And I like where we'll be at by then. Hopefully we can just survive the first 6 weeks and keep it. I still think we got a good shot at, keeping it close with Georgia. We play a good game. We got a real shot to win, but anybody that feels comfortable saying you're close with Georgia is in a pretty good spot.
I don't like how he said that, though.
Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know, Brian, if he's
gonna be ready,
if he but
gonna be ready.
He'll be ready, but he's been ready in the past.
Yeah.
They won one time.
Exactly.
And everybody,
I mean,
if you want to crown them, go ahead and crown them. They are who we thought they were. No, they've lost. They've lost to Alabama.
Kirby's feeling pretty comfortable keeping that nightgown on this year.
Oh yeah. The boy, they're not coming out with no goddamn nightgown.
Yeah.
I'm going up that Thursday. I'm gonna tell the boy burn the moo.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm
doing the shaft.
I'm gonna tell you that right now that don't mistake his kindness for weakness. DeBoer is a tough dude.
Yeah.
He's just a nice guy. He just has a different style. He's not screaming at people. But success isn't there isn't one formula for success. It's getting the best out of the people around you, no matter what business you're in. You know this from the stuff that you do. You know this from what you do outside of football and sports. You meet leaders that are great that have a different way of doing it. All you're trying to do is communicate with someone what you need them to do and get the most out of them doing it. I feel like this, and you guys can agree or disagree. I feel like the players over the last 3 or 4 years, in particular at Alabama, started to have anxiety in big games because they were so worried about making mistakes. I think when you're relaxed and you're doing your thing, like I watched that Washington team play last year, and I didn't get that vibe from them. And I think that's what he brings to the table. You guys handled it well. But this is a different type of athlete now. Different person. It's just kids are different now.
You perform out of fear or comfort.
Right.
And if you got a bunch of guys that are playing well due to comfort, you better not miss on recruiting. If you're coaching from Coach Saban's standpoint, you got guys that are going to show up and play out of fear and make sure they're doing the right thing. And
But see, I worry about that because I think that when you're doing your best,
but it's not so much. I don't mean fear. I mean fear of accountability. Like I
get
you got to play
part
to a certain standard. It's not like a fear of I'm scared to mess up. It's just it's like I got to be here and play because that's where the line is. I got to play up here.
Right.
Well, going into my last year or that 5th year I had, we had a lot of guys that was like quitting. Like we had a lot of guys leaving. Like I think it was like 7, 8 guys that had left or was trying to leave, and we was trying to get them back. And I had went and talked to Cochran one day, and pretty much what this dude doing, that was a conversation was about. I was like, Cock, like me personally, I don't give a fuck if Coach Saban talk to me or if he invite me over for Thanksgiving. If he do, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, but it's these younger guys. They seeing Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss and what was the guy at Mississippi State then? Mullen. Yeah, like they having these pool parties and they hang out with the players. I'm like, players are seeing some of these guys on recruiting visit seeing that. So like now that you're getting them here, I'm like, you got to put your arm around these guys a little bit more versus, like the class I came in and up. Like we ain't care. Like we weren't used to it. But these younger dudes, they wanted that. So I really feel like the boy style is what like a lot of guys, it's been going that way. So I think it will be effective as long as he at the end of the day is like, all right, I'm loving on y'all, but I kick that ass too.
I get the feeling that it's that way, though.
So like I'm not against it, you know what I mean? But
I'm not against it either. I mean, to your point, it's like when we were playing, especially me, if Coach Saban was like, "Hey, you want to come over for dinner?" I'd be like, "Coach, I see you enough. I'm good."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love you, but I'm good chilling out.
Right.
Yeah, like because it was already like this. When you kind of around, like he was like once you got to know him, it was cool. You got to his personality. But when I was young, it was like. Because I was, how I am. I say some shit, man, and it's like I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Not you.
Like I don't want to be over there. Like I'm under a scope over there. But like the younger guys, I remember like Joshua Miller. He was one of the dudes at the time. Like, man, man, I don't know. We working hard as hell, man. And we had the movie night. Everybody be waiting to go to the movie. We didn't go to the movies that year. So it was like, Coach, we got to do something for let everybody know that, you appreciate what we doing.
Yeah, right.
So I see the boy had an ice cream truck come out. It's
like
stuff
funny.
like that. So that make a real big difference because I witnessed guys like really ready to leave behind stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I covered the Cubs when they won the World Series, and they hadn't won in 8 years or something. And Joe Madden was the manager, and he was kind of a laid back guy, was funny. He'd do stuff like that. They had a DJ at practice during spring training, and they would bring in like celebrities, and people would bring like, crazy pets like baby bears and stuff like that and roll around. And it just kind of made it like, hey, we're going to have fun doing this. It breaks the tension. And I think that like in sports, there's enough tension and anxiety because you're trying to do your best. And I think you perform better. I know in baseball, especially, you perform better when you just are having fun and you go out there and everybody like, and a great example of this is with you guys. I went to all those games. I remember your team like it was yesterday, and you guys started doing the thing on the sideline.
Jumping on the side. Yeah.
I mean, but remember, it was like kind of like the way that I was at the Ohio State game the year before. I remember I went to that whole season too. I come back the next year, and it was kind of like, who are we? Right. And then that started happening. And then you guys started having fun. And it was like, I mean, I can remember watching you guys on the sideline just getting after it,
But, again, to me, that's not, you can't coach that.
You can't, but it happens.
That's bringing the right guys in that love working hard and playing with each other.
But you had fun as a group.
Well, I know, but I mean, you don't have fun as a group going through all that unless you've got a good work ethic and you're appreciative of what you got.
And you got to go through some shit to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we look, man, them motherfuckers weren't jumping for joy. I'm gonna tell you, man. Them motherfuckers wanted to kill you, man. They wanted to kill you. They wanted to kill you. They wanted to kill you. They jumping. They was licking their chops. I'm telling you. So that was like a war cry.
Let me tell you. I was in a lot of practices. It was like watching the Joker jump up around with a smile on their face, about to go rip somebody's head off.
You guys had fun together. I was thinking about this today, Ryan. I wish that Daniel Moore would have put you making that sack against Tennessee on one of those pictures, man.
Yeah.
That was the loudest I've ever heard.
It was amazing.
That was the loudest I've ever heard it.
I don't know what Daniel had against me. Daniel, you watching? Let me get a picture, man. I'm gonna have kids and a family soon. Shit. Come on, Daniel.
He'll see this.
Yeah.
He's amazing. That was such a big play in that season, man.
That should have been a Daniel Moore painting. Now I think about it. I mean, shit.
That was the play.
Him and Ashawn picking up the fumble.
Man, y'all, before that play, I was so damn mad. Like, I'm on the sidelines hot. So this the time where, like, that was part of the season where I was playing in spurts. Like, I might play 15 plays one game, and next game I might play 6. So that was going on. So we get in this game, and I'm playing, like, I couldn't get in the groove. Like, it was always like, all right, you come out, you in for 2 plays, you're out. So I'm on the sideline when this game closed. I'm like, and Tosh said something to me. I'm like, man, fuck you. He like, what? I was like, man, I'm tired of this shit, man. So I'm tired of, like, going in a play, coming out of play. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I don't want to go back in. You feel me? I was like, I'm out of it. So they'll call the defense over. Like, everybody gathered. I'll walk away. Like, being young, I'll walk away. So I'm sitting here watching the game. I'm like, we had a sack the play before. Like, I think John got a sack. So I'm like watching it right here. And Tosh like, 2-2. Like, I look at it like, go in. This time, I'm out of the game. I don't even got my mouthpiece. I threw it away. Like, so many times, I threw my mouthpiece. I'm like, oh shit. So when I'm running on the field, like, you better make a good play too. You've been crying, you've been pounding. You better make a good play. It just so happened. It happened. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was like, after that, I started playing a lot more too, like the rest of that season. But it was a real like I'm out of here, man.
It's got to be frustrating. It's got to be frustrating too, when you go out for one play and then you see that guy that's coming in to get you out of the game again. I didn't like that either. You know,
I'm like,
hate that.
Stay your ass over there, bro.
At least let me be tired and when I get off the field.
It's like the 2 quarterback system. Like, I mean, that'll never. I just don't see.
That never works.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine having to go in for 2 plays. You know, put another guy in, run the ball, whatever. Go back out there. I'm in. We're throwing.
Yeah. What's it like when you talk to the coach about that?
Depends on which coach you're talking
to. Right. But granted, my situation, it was good players playing too. So it was like,
yeah.
I was like, bro, I mean, I just want a little more. I don't want all the bone. Just give me a piece of it.
Yeah, right. But that's part of the journey too.
Exactly.
You know, that's I mean, like going through that, and then once you kind of, they know that you're not there to mess around anymore. You know, when you stand up to them, they might not like it at that particular moment, but then there's a comfort that you have knowing that you stood up for yourself and that you put yourself out there now. You go and you say something to Nick Saban, or you say something to Kirby Smart or whoever, and you're like, hey, I got to be in this game, or you're pissed off. You better be ready to go in there and get it done.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a point, I think, that every player gets to before they reach their full potential where they don't give a shit what they say to a coach anymore. Like, you can kick me off the team. You can never play me again. I really don't care.
Right.
I'm going out there. I'm going to do what the hell I want to do.
Yeah.
And just play.
It's like negotiating. You got to be able to give it all up to win.
At some point, you can't care anymore what the consequences are going to be for doing and saying what you're going to say and do.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to that point, you've always got that fear in the back of your mind of you know, what are going to be the repercussions if I put myself out there and do what I need to do.
So, and I feel like Milroe went through that.
That's spot on, bro.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't get to that point, then you're never going to get where you need to be.
But I feel like that's what we were talking about Milroe at the beginning of the season. And, you know, I was kind of like, hey, at the beginning, like, and then once I saw the other guys, it's like, everybody needs to shut up and let the guy do his thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But he had to go through the same thing. He got benched, because he was suspended or whatever happened to him. Go through that, come out the other end, and it's like I feel like I feel like in a way it's like there's a comfort there because you did all that.
Yeah. I mean, look, after that Ole Miss game, you got everything I needed to say off the table, and I felt as free as could be. And I could care less if you kick. At that point, I was like, kick me off the team if you want to. I don't care. You know, I mean, I'm here to win. If you don't want that, then
so be it.
See you.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
So how long did it take Coach Saban to kind of be cool again?
I'm glad he did. That was a turning
How long was
point.
it?
That was really a turning point for that team, though.
Ryan, when did it happen for you?
Mick, like I was like when you there, like I worried about defense. I didn't know a lot of that shit went on until like, he said something. Like
he's retired now though, so you're good.
It's like being on the outside looking in for real. Like on the offense, it's like a whole nother.
Yeah,
like, it's so much other but on our defense side, like we know who we want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we knew who we wanted to play. Like we seen him in practice scrimmage. We seen him. Like that's on the quarterback we had that got in fights. You feel me? We knew that motherfucker fight. So, like defense, we did a lot of stuff to offense. Like, but like,
you knew he might come at you.
No, he will fight you. Like, it wasn't a fight. Like, you don't fuck with him, he'll fight you. If you don't want to fight, don't fuck with him.
He's got a lot of street cred, right?
Yeah. You feel me? So on the defense, like we don't really know what they belong. And I was like, we're gonna go out and try to get the ball back. We know we wanted 14 in the game.
We were playing A&M. One of those first runs in the first half. I broke a couple tackles and I was running towards the sideline and I broke a few more tackles and fell forward. And I stand up and there's a D lineman for A&M. He stands up and hits me right there in the chin. And I'm sitting there, I'm calling him every word. I mean, the main thing I remember is just calling him a soft ass bitch over and over again. And our nearest steward, I look over and I see him look at me like, and he looks over at him and goes, You are soft ass bitch.
That shit go a long way in the locker room. You don't think our Darren's like a defensive guy?
Yeah, right.
Like he telling you, hey, man, go to the game, man. Like, dog. That play when you ran that dude on the sideline, like the whole defense. Like I remember everybody on defense jumped up like, fuck! Yo!
It's funny how those plays they brought so much momentum to your teams too. You know,
you need that.
Then you guys would come out after a play like that, 3 and out. You get the ball back, you're going straight down the field, and those would turn into like 14-point swings.
Man, like, the best thing about playing that year was like we had a couple 3 and outs, and we'd get to the sideline and we'd be trying to figure something out, whatever went wrong, and you know, we'd be sitting there and we'd be talking between each other and be like, all right, what are we going to do on the next drive? And you'd be like, well, we'll be back out there in about 2.5 minutes. So
that defense was so good.
Then we got a quarterback that'll run through you.
Oh, man.
And we finna fuck your quarterback up.
Oh, man.
You can't. Our quarterback he bringing it. Yeah, you catch it over. He bringing it.
You remember that Cotton Bowl and what's his name? Connor Cook. They caught him on the big screen, and he goes. Somebody was like, "What's going on?" And you just see him lip reading. He goes, "They're fucking everywhere."
Yeah, motherfuckers everywhere.
And he's like dead serious, like he's looking at a ghost. He's like, "They're everywhere."
We try to kill him.
Yeah.
Anybody that came out there, I'm telling you, man, that defense we played on, and even, you know, I got into a different state when I played too, Mick. You know what I mean? I wanted to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know I did, and I didn't care if I got hurt you. I wanted to hurt you. Now you take that and you put me around 10 other people. Really it was another 20 other people because we had like 2 deep.
Yeah.
That's on the same shit. So even if I wanted to be nice, like I remember going to help somebody up. I made a tackle in backfield against A&M the year before that, and I go to help him up, and Jay Reed come to see, he slapped my hand.
I loved him.
Jay Reed slapped me. He say, "What the fuck you doing?" He said, "You tripping?" I'm like, "I'm going to help him up. They don't do that shit. Let's go." I'm like, all right.
Sorry, buddy.
Dylan
Sorry,
too.
pal.
Dylan say, "Ryan, you're fucking traitor if you help him up." I'm like, dude, don't talk to me. I'm like, all right. I ain't helping nobody else up. So,
did you see there's a Lance Taylor interviewed let's say it was Milroe, and he was talking about mental health and, you know, just dealing with the benching last year. And he said, "Hey, I had to talk to my dad, you know, I had to deal with that mentally." You know, how tough is that mentally? I mean, not that you got benched, but just going through that same thing. Because last year, everybody kept comparing you guys because, you know, the start of the season and everything.
I think everybody handles it different. I mean, I feel like when I get pushed into a corner and I got no other choice, I just get angry at everything, and it makes me perform better.
You like the Incredible Hulk.
No, I mean,
turn green.
No, at that point. No, because when I came into Alabama, I mean, I was brand new, and trying to be a leader right when you come in a new place. I mean, I'm not gonna make speeches. I hadn't been there. I mean, I'm not gonna be that guy that, you know, gets up and makes a speech as a brand new guy. I mean, if a brand new transfer came in and say, you know, at Florida State, and when I had been there as a freshman, and he came up there and he started making speeches and tried to be a leader, I'd be like, "Who the hell's this guy?
Right.
This guy off the stage."
Right.
You know, I mean, so I just feel like I had to try to lead by physicality and all that. And then finally, when that day came and I got benched against Ole Miss, it was just, at that point, I didn't care what anybody said, didn't care what they thought, didn't care about anything. And if you did, then I was just played the way I played. If you didn't like it, you kiss my ass. So
yeah,
that was
the way to do it.
I mean, you know,
it
didn't matter anymore. I didn't care.
It's
I mean,
freedom in that too, though.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, get to the point where you don't care anymore. You just do what you're gonna do and
cut it loose.
Whatever it takes. It is what it is.
One Corona and 2 Ultras.
That'll work.
Right, you want to room.
But yeah, I just, I mean, like I was saying earlier, unless you get to that point, I don't know if you can really play as well as you play up to your potential.
Yeah, right.
And that's where Jalen got last year, I think.
Yeah.
You ain't got to look over your shoulder so much.
And this year he's got another year with everybody knowing he's a starter.
Well, it'll be a different environment too. I just feel like where Nick Saban might have lacked a little bit in communication, that's where Coach DeBoer is going to be really.
Well,
we're going to score some points this year.
It definitely helps to have the head coach as the quarterback's guy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Saban's the best coach of all time, but he was on
the GOAT.
He was on the defensive side, and he wasn't over on the offensive
side.
I mean, he, when me and him were talking, he's watching film every day, obviously, and he knows what's going on, but you don't have that open line of communication after each play. Like, I mean, when Jimbo's the head coach and he's standing behind the quarterbacks all day,
right, and that's his position. Yeah, I mean, he's going to know it different.
Yeah, which I mean. You had to walk on eggshells here and there with him, but I mean,
Well, he slapped the football out of your hand first day. Remember that?
Yeah.
Welcome to football.
Kick that ball across the field and take my ass back to Mobile.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore.
I always like Jimbo's style, man. What he end up at?
He's
he's got some checks and he's making some money and. We should get him on the podcast.
He'll be one of the highest paid coaches around.
I wonder if he'd come on here.
Huh?
I wonder if he'd come on here.
He can't come on here, man. He coached at Florida State and Texas A&M. He can't come.
Coach Jimbo's one of those guys. He's like he's like that uncle you got that just you love him to death. When you're playing though, he can be tough.
Yeah, right.
He can be pretty tough.
Be a fun show.
He's a hell of a coach, though, man.
But I love Jimbo. Jimbo's he's a great guy. He just and I still think he's one of the best quarterback coaches out there. I mean, when he's standing there right behind the quarterback, everybody hears what he's got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows exactly what he wants, and you're sitting there telling him. You're sitting there listening to him tell everybody what they should be doing. So. After the play's over, you're like, all right, well, that's how it should be done. And then everybody else hears that.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, you don't have to say anything. It's already taken care of.
Yeah.
And there's some moments where, communication between quarterback and receiver is essential, but there's no doubt left as to what you're supposed to be doing.
I remember watching that game. I think I told you, I watched it with Baron Huber over at his house. And when you guys beat Auburn, I think we did a big bear hug, a pile. It wasn't as much about you as beating them.
I like old Barry. He's a good dude too.
He is. Yeah, he's going to be on here. We got it. When we do the shows from Floribama, you got to come hang out. And I told Barron like same thing. Like we need to do this there.
No,
it'd be so much fun.
Where you said he lives in Orange Beach now?
No, he comes down though. He lives in Birmingham, and then he's got a place up in East Tennessee.
Yeah,
up on one of the lakes. But great guy. So going into, I guess this is kind of where we're at right now, kind of the end of the show. But everybody's like, don't end the show because they're loving this content right now. What's the thing you're the most worried about this year? Concerned about this season?
A few games going south, we don't make the playoff.
Okay.
Defense.
Yep.
For me.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about, overall the team or the overall.
Well, just yeah. I mean, defense.
That's me too. Like,
yeah, I mean,
playing out. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what I was talking about this weekend. How awesome would it be if we played a home playoff game in Tuscaloosa?
That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
I mean, because I'm not expecting I don't think it's impossible. I think it's very possible for us to be seated higher than playing a game in the first round or whatever. But if we were to make it and play a home game in the playoff, you imagine what Tuscaloosa would be like in January when it's, somewhat cold.
Yeah,
that's gonna be an environment.
Are we going? What games do you guys want to go to? Obviously we've got the tailgate show, but
Georgia obviously would be one of the good ones, but
I ain't going to Tuscaloosa for that one.
Yeah, it's almost Georgia would be if I could just show up in the stadium and be there for the game and then get out and I have to fight the traffic, but it's going to be a madhouse in there.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. I'd love to go to Wisconsin.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think Oklahoma would be mine this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see about putting that together, flying out. So, I grew up Oklahoma fan.
No, I didn't know that.
I grew up like in the Sooners.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a little light in his loafers.
Yeah. So I think that would be a good one.
Did you ever think about going there?
I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to.
It's a long way away though.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to go to that game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go check it out.
We played Oklahoma in Tallahassee. It was the loudest game I ever heard in Doak Campbell. They had Landry Jones.
Yeah.
That dude was dealing. And they had a receiver at Oklahoma that year. I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head, but I mean, him and that one receiver were just torching us. Just couldn't keep up. But man, it was crazy.
Did they beat they beat Florida State?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I think he won number one? Receiver had 1 or 8.
I'll remember in a second.
They always had some good dudes. I don't remember. I think Nick Harris played. I don't know if Nick played corner or receiver at Oklahoma. I can't remember.
Did they recruit you?
Not till after it was
too late.
It was over with then. Oklahoma State offered me before them.
Really?
Yeah.
Once you get in this state, you get an Alabama offer. I mean, everybody's just.
I had my cousin, her boyfriend at the time. He had signed Oklahoma State out of Carver, Columbus, and I still remember sending him like my highlights from my 10th grade season, and going into my junior year, and like he showed them to his coaches, and like they start recruiting me off of that.
Really?
Yeah, and then they end up offering me like after my junior season ended. So I was like, shit, I might just go to Stillwater then.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's like, yeah, they ain't offered me. I never thought I'd go to Bama. I never thought I would. That was like in my head, I was thinking like if I can get to like a Troy, UAB. I committed to South. They offered me like getting off the bus to our state championship game, Bill Clark, and I'm like, I'm coming. So I would go over there like every weekend, and then Bama offered me. And Bill called me. He was like, well, I understand. I was like, well, yeah, you kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
I heard about the offer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
there's a guy named Nick Saban.
I'm out.
And nobody can blame you for that.
Over.
Yeah.
So
Kenny Stills was that guy. Was the receiver.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That dude was an animal.
Well, another show in the books. Any final thoughts?
Man, I'm looking forward to making the playoffs this year, Mick, and surprising a lot of people.
Me too.
And grabbing that bulldog by both ears, kicking across his ass, like Pops on Friday. They just bang, bang, bang.
yeah, right.
All day long, but I'll put up a dog ass.
I love him. He's one of my favorite all-time actors.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I love him, man. It's just like those role guys.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was so funny. Every movie he was in, he was great.
Exactly.
Him getting his ass eaten up by them dogs.
Hey, Kirby, it's our pleasure.
Yeah.
We come to kick that ass.
Yeah. You don't think I like hog maws?
Yeah. Nick, you know too much.
Yeah. You don't think I like collard greens? Cereal, no milk? He's the best, man.
Oh my God.
You know what we're talking about.
I love how you know all this range.
Yeah. Mick got range, man. Mick got range.
You can't not like him though. He passed away a couple years ago, and I was like, man, that guy is you couldn't make those movies and not have him because he was so damn funny. He was like the Barney Fife of like all the stuff that those guys did.
Man, that's funny.
You know, like just a great character actor. Like he was awesome. Boomerang.
Yeah. I mean, you any subject that comes up, I'm like, how the hell
you
did you know that?
You know too much.
Yeah. Mushrooms. You know the mushrooms? The mushroom belt? No, you don't know Boomerang?
Oh yeah. I remember him from that one, but I probably seen Boomerang like once or twice in spurts. But
that's an old one, but
him and Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Although I'm going to tell you guys this, it might be controversial, but I like Charlie Murphy better.
Oh yeah, Charlie.
I just like Charlie.
I wouldn't argue that. No. I won't argue that because Charlie had like his own style.
Yeah,
and Charlie was the cuff humor.
Oh man,
yes.
Well, Chappelle Show's the greatest. It's the greatest comedy show of our lifetime.
I agree.
I mean, and they're still funny. I see the clips come up on Instagram, and I'm still laughing about them. And I've seen them a million times. You know, the Rick James stuff.
How he came up with all that stuff.
Because they fucked up, bro. They just fucked up. Right. They just Dave Chappelle, they just different cast.
Like this type of crew, but you know,
get that shit involved.
Write down ideas. You know, it'd be really funny.
But Dave Chappelle,
when keeping it real goes wrong,
he gets up there on stage and has some deep thoughts.
Oh, he's smart.
I mean, it's not just shallow comedy.
No,
I mean,
man.
And he's going up there making a speech with a few punchlines in it.
I think I saw him on what was the show? The Apollo show that used to come on when I was a kid. We didn't have many channels.
Comedy Central.
No, this was like
that
before
was
that.
Comedy Central.
Yeah, and they would just have like comedians that would come on, and he was like a really skinny dude, and I don't even remember what the act was, but it was really funny. You know, did you guys see Bernie? Do you remember when Bernie Mac was out there? How funny I know you did because we talked about this. Did you see the clip? They were playing a lot of clips because it was like the anniversary of his death recently, and they were playing all those clips of Bernie Mac. God, that dude was funny too.
Bernie Mac.
He had like a DJ at the on the set and stuff, and he would just like say something, and then the DJ would play.
See, he was old.
Kick it.
Yeah.
He's old school humor though, man. That was the golden days.
Yeah, like, I don't know if they could fly today.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the old school humor is the best.
When the original Kings of Comedy came out, I saw it in Tuscaloosa. I went to the old movie theater that was where the Brunos was, which is, you guys are like, what the fuck's he talking about? But the movie theater was in the shopping center, and I went and watched it like one of the first days it came out, and I thought he stole the show. I thought he was the best one of the four guys. And, you know, Steve Harvey's not my type of humor.
No, Steve Harvey, like.
I like Steve Harvey, but he's more of a, what's the
commercial
show he's on?
Mm-hmm.
Family Feud.
He's more Family Feud type humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Bernie
I love
was
him.
the king.
Bernie was the king. But if I'm hanging out with a few comics, Bernie Mac's, he's in that group.
Oh yeah,
I gotta have Bernie, Charlie.
Charlie was great.
Richard Pryor was good.
Red Fox. Do you guys remember Red Fox?
Yeah, Red Fox is my top 5.
So
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, Sanford and
Son.
Son.
Oh yeah, and I mean if you say that,
that's Red.
I can picture his face.
Go back and watch it. If like just go on YouTube and watch some of his like stand-ups. Make sure your kids are sleeping.
It was funny, dog.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was great.
If you ever check out Harlem Nights. Go watch his performance at Harlem Nights. That snapped him right there. But,
I heard Richard Pryor. I heard was that dude was a wild card.
He was, yeah. He had I mean, I'm gonna make myself sound old, but
those comics back then they lived a rough life even while
they lived it, yeah. But to get because before all this stuff, the only way you got to listen to it was somebody's dad had a record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then their dad would be at work and you'd be like, hey, let's go listen to this record. And it might be, Eddie Murphy Raw was one that we liked, Delirious, the Richard Pryors, there was a bunch of Richard Pryors, Red Fox. And some other guys too that were pretty funny, but you would have to. And then if somebody came home, you'd have to hide. Now, I mean, you can just go on YouTube and see anything, just like this show right here. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. By the way, technology's changed. I mean, yesterday was his 30th birthday.
Feeling old, man.
I haven't got a hat from it.
Today is the start. Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh, right. teach him everything. You gotta teach him everything, Mick.
Come on, no.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
All right. Let me, as we close up shop here, let me remind all you guys that the show's brought to you by MyBookie. We've all been there before. Weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into truly realistic casino experiences featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The MyBookie Casino provides a Vegas experience when the action is in your hands and you don't even have to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus and use the promo code next round. And a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. The more you play, the more you win with MyBookie. I had a great time.
Me too.
Yeah, that's hard to beat.
That was so much fun. Anytime that he's saying he's coming, I know like the whole rest of the day, it's like kind of like Christmas because I know we're going to have a great time. Like a present under the tree you're going to unwrap and like. Ryan, you're the best, man. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all the best to me.
I go down to the beach. I'm like, hey, man, you going to be down there?
It's great that he lives there now.
Well, look, Mick, it's a lot right up the street.
Yeah.
On the corner right
there.
there.
You coming here?
I like it.
Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna call and check them out about that.
I would, man.
I got my little spot down there now, so I can bounce back and forth if I need to. So,
you know, I told you, you need to move over here. We need you in Montrose.
Bring a golf cart for down here. Too. Hey, Breland. Hey, Breland. Golf cart. Nick need one too.
Yeah.
We need that player discount, Breland.
We do live in a golf cart neighborhood.
Oh yeah. I ain't going nowhere else but a golf cart community. I'm done with that.
That golf cart's hard to beat.
Man.
It's hard to beat.
Get you a speak on it.
Yeah.
Like it did me. You get that Chris Stapleton White Horse. You turn that bazooka up, man. I'm telling you, my neighbors can't stand me. Lady come out the other night and say, can you please? I said, can you please shut the I ain't turning the shit down.
I heard you were at the Cole Swindell concert.
Yeah.
I was there too.
I wish you'd have told me.
I know you could have came, but I was on the floor of Bama Yacht. I didn't know you were there. You could have came with us.
I remember Chappos came and met you before that.
Yeah. But I didn't know you were going to be there.
Oh, yeah. My buddy Rob.
That was a fun concert.
Big Rob get me out and about. You feel me?
Yeah.
He didn't got me out of my shell a lot. You know, I've been to more country concerts than anything else.
They're fun.
Man, yeah, they fun.
The Wharf's a fun, like little whole spot down there.
You know, it's now they're starting to advertise it, and those tickets are going up now. Let me tell you, they need to stop advertising that deal.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody's finding out about it.
Oh yeah.
No, it's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna buy my own ticket. Rob ain't gonna keep giving me my tickets. So please stop advertising.
Yeah.
Not check the price.
I think what it is this: as long as you go and you make the party, everybody's gonna have a ticket for you.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? Like if you just go and have a really good time and people are like, man, I had a great time. Ryan was awesome last night. Somebody will cough up a ticket. At least that's my strategy.
Yeah.
They might be like, that dude got drunk as hell.
That usually happens too when I go over there. I wake up the next day, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I got home.
It's like this. You feel like this the next day. Get off me.
Last thing I remember, I don't know if the golf cart be still on. White Horse be blank. I turn it back on. White Horse. Get back at it.
You're gonna get that song stuck in my head now.
That's a damn good one.
We had that song. Man, that song was playing.
He put me on to
all the way up for the mullet toss. We wore that song out.
That was a good
put
time.
Me on that song, I ain't went back yet.
Yeah. Once you find that song you like.
Oh yeah, that's the priming song right there.
When that beat starts to drop, it's
gotta be at max. Oh, I told my Karen neighbor, I said, "That's do you hear what I'm listening to?" I had to sleep, man. I'm gonna cut it off. I'm going to bed. Man. I told you, I'm in between White Horse Mick and want to roll over on one end.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm 8:30.
Let the guy enjoy his birthday.
Yeah, we need I think I'm gonna do a little MTV show or something. For the love of Ryan. I'm taking applications.
Hey, Roll Tide, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.